So I just got my set of Billie Bars in. These are going to be used on my 2014 F150, which is our camping overlanding vehicle. Previously, I'd had a larger, higher rack set up for a rooftop tent. This is gonna drop it down to 5 inches, make it a little easier to get all the way around it, get in and out of it. So Billie Bars just showed up yesterday. I'm super stoked. I haven't got to open them yet, so you're gonna experience this with me. I have no idea what to expect. Based on my previous roof rack, the box on this is already in great shape. They did a really good job of protecting it. There's a small little ding here, probably not a big deal. I'm assuming that it's well protected inside. So let's have a look here. Let's open this baby up and take a peek. Now I'm gonna have to share with you this tool I've got here too. This is a fantastic little multi-tool. Sweet. All right, let's have a look, see what's inside. Oh, see, I love this. This is a company, they're all made in the USA. Somebody signed the inside of my box with my name and said thank you. That's a huge deal. I run my own company. I own fitbuddy.com. Every order I pack out, I try to write thank you to the person who supported me by coming to my shop. That's huge to me. That's a big deal. Looking at the inside of this, it's packed really well. I mean, there's a lot of supporting cardboard in here, so I think you can get crushed. Yeah, that's stout and it's solid. Good on you, Billie Bars. All right, let's get this thing opened up. Get all these tape. And they use reinforced tape, which is nice too, because it's not gonna peel off. So we got it opened up. I was a little concerned because I've had things arrive, and a lot of these things that we buy online, rooftop tents, adventure racks, all the things, right? A lot of them are big, bulky, and heavy, and they're shipped as best they can, and a lot of times they show up damaged, mostly due to handling. I was a little worried about this. This ding here clearly looks like something poked through it. Didn't damage anything on the inside, and even if it made it all the way through into some, they packed it really well, so I think it would have sustained any minor damage pretty well. All right, so let's get this thing opened up. They did a really good job on packing this up. There is, oh man, those things are, I can already feel it. Those are beefy. All right, first look at the Billie Bar. So one of the reasons I went with Billie Bars is it's aluminum. While it's aluminum, it's still pretty stout. I mean, it's very heavy, very beefy. It won't corrode, it won't rust. It should take a beating for many years. So super slick there. Got multiple channels on the top and bottom. So they use these channel systems. You can mount accessories, racks, rooftop tents, all the things. So there's extrusion number 1. We'll get extrusion number 2 out of this. Oh yeah, these things are super, super slick. Very heavy duty. All right, let's see what else we got in the accessories area. All right, there's bracket 1. Bracket 2, looks like there's some hardware in there. So I'll just take a quick peek here at these. These are the brackets that will mount to the side of your truck bed. The neat thing about this system is it actually allows you to have a tonneau cover. Now, you won't be able to use a full tri-fold and fold it all the way up, but you can have it on there, and then you can also have quick release screws to put on the side of here so that if you wanted to, you could fold it all the way up. But at minimum, you can still use it, keep the bed of your truck nice and dry, and get dust and debris from coming in. So this is gonna mount up over here. Sorry, Julie, I'm walking away from the camera. This bracket is gonna hold that Billie Bar, and by the way, I think, if I haven't said it enough times, Billie Bar. Billie is the owner of the company. I actually spoke to several of the people online. They've got a phone number you can call and talk to them. So this is gonna mount up here. There's a clamp that goes on the inside, and then the bar will sit here. So it's gonna be nice and low profile. By the time I put my rooftop tent on here, it's gonna be well below the cab. Prior, it was actually above the cab. And you guys know, if you've driven a truck or whatever, you got a lot more drag. It impacts your gas mileage. This is much more low profile. My wife and I will be able to get in and out of the tent a lot easier. All right. Let's get into the accessory pack, see what's in here. Alright, so these are the clamps that go on the inside and will mount up on your bed rail. So you don't actually have to drill these. Billie Bars does make an option that you can either install on a rack system if you've got a rack system on the back of your truck, or you can drill through. But I opted for this since mine's a little older vehicle, and it's going to use this clamping system which will hold it onto the bed like that. All those. And then here are the little bits and bitties that we'll use to attach the accessories to the rails themselves. They use these channel mounted screws. All right. I'm going to get all of the goodies out, get it lined out, and then you'll see me in just a moment when we start putting it onto the truck. All right, the first step I'm going to take is I measured my rooftop tent, and on the bottom of my rooftop tent I have 2 aluminum channels that will be mounted to this using quick releases. The spacing I want on those is 55.5 inches. I need to take a look at my bed and my truck and determine where I'm going to place these things, mark them out, and then mark on the opposite side the exact same place so that these are perpendicular to the bed of the truck and they're exact. So I know 55.5 inches is what I need on my rooftop tent, so I'm just going to mark this out, and I can actually measure just edge to edge. That looks like that one is back a bit too far, so I'm going to scoot that forward a bit. And I kind of dry fit that together to give it a kind of give myself an idea of where these things were going to be. So if I mark from here, 55.5. All right. Get myself a little pencil. Of course, I picked the cute one. It's got a little hat on it. Whatever. I don't know where that came from. All right, so there's that. And then we'll just mark this side here. And we'll go on the other side as well. And determine how far back that sits. That is exactly 9 7/8. This side, measure the same distance, 9 7/8. That there, 55.5. On this side, sweet, awesome. Now I'm going to get the mounting hardware. We're going to mount this up. All right, time to get the bits and goodies out. Now, in the past, I would have just opened this up and had to dump it out. But I have learned my lesson over the years to put it in a container. So if you got an old piece of Tupperware or something sitting around, dump it in there. You're not going to lose things as easily out of something like that. So now I can take and sort these. These have Torx security bits, which I'm not a fan of, but I also don't want my Billie Bars getting stolen. So this is what will secure the bar into the mount. And then on the back side, these will be the clamps. Well, a little lock nut there. So that's what will clamp to the side of the bed. So that's the hardware you're working with on those. All right, so when we're installing the brackets to the side of the truck, and this is for the universal mount, not for the drilled or the track mount, you're going to grab these carriage bolts, the plate for installation, nylon lock nut, and a flat washer. So that's the material you'll need for the first bracket. Hop in the truck, grab a 9/16 inch socket, and we'll get this thing installed on the other side. So I've double checked the distance is correct. On the other side, we'll double check it before we install that. Okay, so we've got the angle bracket, and on this angle bracket, you'll look and see there is a long side and a short side. The long side will always face down towards the bed of the truck, and this will go up. So we'll slide this in behind it, and we'll get a washer and a nylon lock nut on there. Finger tighten that guy, and then get this one started as well. And in the directions, they say to start with the right-hand side because as you tighten it, it will kick the bracket up. Whereas if you start with the left-hand side, it'll kick the bracket down and you'll have a hard time getting it to hold. So we'll start here. We'll get this tightened down a bit, and then we'll double check the distance. Because as you do this, inevitably it's going to move around. So, all right. We're right there. Sweet. And we'll get the next one started. Good deal. Bracket number 1 done. And bracket number 2, cab side. Get the bolts started. All right, bracket number 2. All right, moment of truth. Both brackets are installed exactly 10 inches back from the cab, but this is the moment of truth. Will this Billie Bar fit into the saddles without much adjustment? You've got to be kidding me. Made in America. So now we're going to come down. We're going to start to put in our bolts on the outside and get this thing secured. Time to mount the Billie Bar on the Billie mounts. And now that they're in the saddles, we're going to grab these bolts here. These are the security bolts, a flat washer and a lock washer. And they also have some anti-seize that they want you to put on as well. So we're going to go over here and get this started. All right, first I want to go ahead and just kind of thread this in. Yeah, we're good. If the holes are aligned, I just wanted to make sure before I start torquing down on this that the holes are aligned and we won't be mis-threading this or cross-threading it. So we're good to go there. We'll go ahead and get these prepped up. You want to put the lock washer on, and then the flat washer, and some anti-seize, some Loctite. So we're going to put this on here. All right, so I'm going to grab the tools needed to put this on. So they include Allen key. And I'm going to use my handy dandy rigid and grab a bit for that guy, and it's going to be this one right here. All right, we'll get this guy seated, and we'll start it by hand, and then we'll finish it up with this guy. All right, so this is the Loctite LB8150 they include. Just don't trust ripping it because I'll wind up with it all over my hands. All right, so you want to coat these evenly, just enough, not too much. Just enough to coat the threads. And like I said, we'll put that in, we'll hand tighten that guy. Good. Finger tight. We'll coat the next guy. I knew it. I couldn't avoid it. It's going to get on my hands. It's just the way it is. All right. And again, get that finger tightened. And you can use the included Allen key there. Probably want to keep that in your truck in case, you notice there is one that is loose, or if you want to take the Billie Bar out. They do sell hand knobs for these. You can actually do, so kind of call it a quick release, so you don't have to have the tool, but for my purposes, this will work great. All right, it's just that easy. I'm going to say when I installed my last overlanding rack, there must have been 100 nuts and bolts and probably 40 different pieces I had to put together. This is so much easier. All right, we'll get the next set of washers and lock washers ready. Go to the other side and screw it in. Get these guys put together and coated up and screw them in. All in. All right, set number 2 for the rear of the vehicle, and we'll get these set up in place. All right, grab my tape measure. 55.5 is my magic number. Bracket to bracket. All right, and grab my pencil. Yep. Sweet. We'll grab the hardware and mount this second setup. I don't care if you use a cardboard box, Tupperware, or whatever. If you keep it in a little neat container like this, you're less likely to drop it and it go down between the tailgate and stuff. I'm just saying, not that I've ever done that before, but I may have. All right. Just don't take your wife's new Tupperware. Not that I've ever done that before. Sorry. Bracket number 3, done, ready to go. So something I noticed here is we're a little wonky, and I don't like that. I want to make sure these things are even, and they're set up in the channel exactly the same distance. So I'm going to take these back down, loosen it, and make sure that these are set up exactly the same height. Maybe a little OCD, but I want to make sure that these things don't move and they're gripping really well. Good, much better. All right, bracket number 4. And something you can do, and I just kind of realized this, kind of silly, but can't believe I didn't do it before, if you pre-assemble these, you'll save yourself a little bit of hassle trying to put it together while it's on the side of your truck. Now, depending on how your truck is laid out in the sidewalls, this may not be possible for you, but for me, this will work. I got plenty of room. And I don't know that I got it on video, but the last one on the other side, I actually had to struggle putting the bolt through in the back. I had to take it bracket back off. So this will allow for you to set it straight up here, slide it up in there, and you're ready to go. All right, now to get rail number 2. Right in. Make sure you put the Billie Bars logo out too. Don't be a goon. For my own, I already showed it for the video, but my wife's recording my OCD. I'm just double checking that the distances are right because I don't want to get this on, get the rooftop tent all the way on top, and then have to make an adjustment. All right, last steps. Let's get the last Billie Bar into its saddles and screw down. Anti-seize, I guess is what it is, not thread lock. All right. All right, last set of fasteners on that side, and then again over here. All right, and if you take a look and come back here, and I don't know if you can shoot this or not, you'll see underneath here there's a small gap, a very small one, and so making sure that this is parallel to your bed rail. So there's a slight gap here. I don't think that should be a problem because it's a solid mount here and this is nice and tight. These are very thick material. I'm going to give Billie Bars a ring tomorrow on Monday because they actually answer the phone. And we're going to just double check that they're comfortable that that's going to hold the loads, the dynamic and static loads that they quote. On this one up here, you can see that it is flush mounted with the surface. And I don't think it should be a problem myself mechanically, kind of thinking about it engineering wise. I think it should be just fine. But I'm going to give them a call and just double check. You guys, I gave them a call at Billie Bars. This is totally fine. As long as this is flush mounted with the bed here and nice and tight and we have contact here, it won't be a problem at all. So there are the Billie Bars. They're squared away and installed. And you will see these things are like stout, like super stout. I'm about 200 something pounds and they're not going anywhere. Surf! So, there we go. That's the Billie Bars Universal Fit installed on my F150 2014. And we're gonna put an overlanding rig on this. We're gonna put up a rooftop tent. We're gonna put some accessory molly panels on the side eventually down the road. But hopefully that gave you a quick overview of how to install these. It's not as scary as you might think. And if you like this, if it helped you out, drop a like, hit subscribe. I'll be doing more videos on DIY, overlanding, cold plunging, and all the fun stuff that we guys like. Thanks much.